conversation on SuperTalk Mississippi.
And now, it's Coast Vue with Ricky Matthews. Brought to you by J. Allen Toyota, Gulf Coast Business Supply, and AGJ Systems and Networks on SuperTalk 103.1 FM.
Welcome to Coast Vue, the show that celebrates the men and women who are making coastal Mississippi such an amazing place to live, work, and play. Hey, we have a great show today from what I would call Coast Vue North. I'm up at my place in the Mississippi Delta today, using earbuds, so hang in there with me and Kyle as we work through this. But had the opportunity to visit up here and spend a day or two and just kind of check things out, and we'll do this from time to time. So anyway, we've got Sonny Schindler with us, Captain Sonny Schindler in the first half of the show. And then Dr. Darlene Davis from the CB base is going to join us and talk to us about an exciting new mechanical and civil engineering program that they have there. So without any further ado, let's turn to my friend. Now I must call you a regular, Sonny. You are a regular here on Coast Vue. It's good to talk to you, buddy.
Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me on. Again.
It's good to see you, man. Yeah, no doubt. You know, it's been great watching you guys. You know, we're pre-recording this show, and at the time that you and I are recording the show, there's a lot of wind in coastal Mississippi, and you know that does sort of inhibit you guys. But the wind actually is good for you in terms of the marshes and Cat Island and all that, given that the salinity levels have been mixed up. Tell us about that.
Right. The flooding that we've gotten in April and most of May, the Jordan, the Wolf, the Pearl, Pascagoula, all that comes right into our front yard that we fish in. So, you know, as much, I usually only get a chance to talk to you when the weather's bad. So, one, we get to do that. So that's good. And two, if it was going to happen, this wind episode, it couldn't have come at a better time. I wish I was on the water. I wish I was working, but it's a necessary evil. So I always tell everybody it's always something. So it's just deal with it, use your downtime wisely, and get ready for when it stops, because it should be really, really good after this gets done with.
So the arrangement I have with Captain Sonny Schindler is this. When you are going to be available, give me a buzz, and we'll see if we've got a slot to put you in, because as everyone knows, I love the fishing coast of Mississippi, and Sonny and I have had a couple of visits together. The first visit together, we talked about his time down in South Louisiana, the Venice area. He's done it all. I said that he went down to get a PhD in fishing, which he obviously did. And now through Shore Things charters, they're doing so much, you know, what I would say mostly light tackle fishing, but they kind of do it all. I mean, Sonny's very adjusting when it comes to the needs of his clients. And they've got a really cool thing going on at Cat Island. We can maybe talk a little bit more about that in a second. But, you know, it is important to recognize that as we get into May and then June, these are some of the most amazing times for fishing in coastal Mississippi. And you want the salinities to be right, don't you?
You do. Last couple of years with the opening of the spillway, it seems to slow down the triple tail and the trout. Like the last couple of weeks, you know, we've caught a few trout. I've caught some nice ones, but the numbers they're not there. So we've been doing a lot with the redfish and the flounder and sheephead and drum. I think between our 8 boats, 1 triple tail we've seen, and I've seen triple tail in years past. April 1st was the earliest I've ever personally seen one. Not that they're not there, but personally, the first one I've seen. And you know, we're almost in the mid to late spring, so things are a little slow. But you know, we always just take the hand we're dealt and play it. So there's nothing we can do about this. If the trout's slow and the triple tail aren't here, go for something else. That's kind of our whole method.
Does that mean, you know, the triple tail blackfish, we call them different kinds of names, they like to get up under like corks for crab traps or along, buoys and things like this. Does that mean they're pushed offshore?
I mean, what work we've done with the research lab and friends that have tracked and tagged and tracked them, those suckers go way the heck offshore, and they're just like me. They like warm, salty water. So right now it's still a little cool. When I came in off the last trip, it was in the mid 70s. So relatively speaking, that's cool for them. They love that stuff. Hot, salty. And we're just not there. So I think when it happens, it's going to be, pardon the pun, it's going to be a flood of them when they come in. I think they're just waiting for that big wave of salty, warm water. And an event like, this heavy wind is certainly going to help.
So some of the funnest fishing my sons and I have done has been about 50, 60 miles offshore, find a weed line or a really good tide line that's got a lot of structure in it, and literally just putt for hours and just load up. The triple tail love that scenario. Later in the summers, you'll find a bunch of dolphin in those deals. And then, of course, you'll catch an occasional limit fish as well. But that is so much fun when you're on them, when you're in an area where they're concentrated. You've seen that before, haven't you?
We have, and I'll have to. I wish I'd have thought to send you this. You always kind of throw random topics at me, which I love. But we got them one time in regards to seeing them under stuff. We did it twice in 2 days, 24 hours apart. We had a tropical storm or a mild hurricane come through a couple years ago, and I've got pictures of both of them. Dead pigs that had, I guess, maybe drowned in a storm or maybe some swamp. And Kenny and Ray had caught one out by Isle of Pete, that tip of the Louisiana marsh. And the next day I was heading out to the island with the caretaker. So we got witnesses and pictures for both of them. Different pigs, because I've got the pictures, and there was triple tail under both of them. And we caught both triple tail. So remind me, I'll send you the pictures just because I got proof. Anything floating would be under it.
Anything floating. Okay, so last summer we came up on a bucket. Literally a single bucket out in the middle of nowhere, about 60, 70 miles offshore. And when we pulled up to that bucket, it had 50 triple tail under it, that one bucket. Uh-huh. And they all came from the bucket and just started coming toward the boat. Sonny, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is, when we talked about this before, but when I tell friends that I take out, they say, what are we going to do today? I said, well, we're going there. We're going to go to 265, but we may never make it there. We got 100 battle plans. We'll take what it gives us. If we run across some grass, we'll, do that. We'll probably check a couple of wrecks or reefs on the way out and just kind of go with the flow, man. Cause you never know what you're going to see. I mean, you just kind of take what it gives you. You do that all the time, don't you?
And that, I get a lot of grief from our other guides, because the way I have my boat rigged, I think I store a dozen rods ready to go at any time. So I've got, boat monkey corks for trout, Carolina rigs. I've got my two big, I call them my jackpot rods for like shark or bull red or cobia if you see them. I've got my triple tail stuff rigged. Maybe some other stuff, some tight lined, but that exact scenario where y'all are pulling up on the bucket and those fish are coming out to your boat, you may lose the opportunity in a minute or two. So I always try and load for bear, whatever bait's available, croaker, shrimp, minnow, dead bait. If there's mullet at the dock, I try and throw the net. A lot of times you don't use all the stuff in your arsenal, but it's always good to be prepared for that stuff, because you never know. You never know what's going to be around the next wave or the next point or island.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time. We'll catch some croakers the day before, and then we want to, we'll pick up some pogies or whatever on the way out. We'll hopefully pick up, we'll stop at a horn and maybe pick up some mullet. But I want to have a real assortment of live bait in my live bait well if I can have it, so that whatever unfolds in the day, we can go kind of enjoy it and appreciate it. You just never know. I mean, you'll come. Some of the places we go, we do a lot of green water fishing, but we'll find blue water from time to time. But sometimes, as you know, an envelope of that blue water will come in really, really close. And we had a huge yellowfin on and caught a big dolphin and caught a wahoo, like back to back to back, and in water that was only 150 or 200 feet deep. Just like we just got lucky. And like August, because this little bucket of blue water came in, and we were in the right place at the right time. It had this unbelievable weed line on it, and it was just full of fish, absolutely fish. And by the way, we were headed out to go do some deep drop, and we never made it, obviously, right, because it was just one of those trips. You just never know. Hey, we're having a conversation with Doctor. Doctor, you do have a PhD in fishing. Captain Sonny Schindler, and we're talking about how this time of year fishing really heats up in coastal Mississippi. And we'll continue the conversation when we get on the other side.
Coast Vue on SuperTalk 103.1 is brought to you by J. Allen Toyota on I-10 exit 38 Gulfport. See all the incredible inventory at allentoyota.com. And remember, when you think Toyota, think J. Allen Toyota.
Hey, South Mississippi, it's Jay Allen at Jay Allen Toyota, and I got something new for you for 2021. It's the Jay Allen Certified Collection. What that means is we selected our very best inventory with under 75,000 miles, and they're 6 years old or newer. That comes with a multi-point inspection, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and a 3-day buyback guarantee. So come check out the Jay Allen Certified Pre-Owned Collection right here, I-10 exit 38 in Gulfport, or on allentoyota.com.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking hard-to-find PPE items. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. When your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
From outer space, visitors from another world. We've had contact with bug-eyed monsters.
This is actually a flying saucer.
Flying saucer?
I'm from another planet.
Where late nights are kind of weird.
Well, they must have a reason for their visit.
The unexplained, the weird, and the downright creepy. Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Late nights. SuperTalk Mississippi. If Alexa's part of your life, you've got one more way to access SuperTalk. SuperTalk Mississippi is now available on Amazon Alexa devices. Once enabled, just say, Alexa, play SuperTalk Mississippi at any time and start listening. It's that easy. Just one more way to stay informed and connected with your state. Learn more at supertalk.fm/Alexa. SuperTalk Mississippi. SuperTalk Mississippi. Now available on Amazon Alexa devices. Feeling down? Here's your prescription for a daily dose of good news and positive vibes. Good Things with Rebecca Turner. Every afternoon, Rebecca highlights all the good things happening right here in the state you call home. Daily exposure to Good Things with Rebecca Turner may cause smiling, feelings of positivity, happiness, and even laughter. When you experience these symptoms, tell your friends to listen. Okay. Weekdays starting at 2 p.m. here on SuperTalk Mississippi and now on Amazon Alexa devices.
106.3 Casino Radio is here. Tune to 106.3 to discover all of our must-see attractions and everything that's happening at our 12 incredible casino resorts. Where to eat, where to stay, what to do, and where to play. 106.3 Casino Radio has you covered with everything you need to know to help make your visit here to the coast one you'll never forget. Turn on 106.3 Casino Radio or listen now on our website, CasinoRadio1063.com.
His love for the coast is why he's here. It's Coast Vue with Ricky Matthews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
Welcome back to Coast Vue. I'm actually up in the Mississippi Delta. I call it the Coast Vue Studio North, my place in the Delta. What a beautiful time to be up here this time of year. And I'm having a wonderful conversation with my friend, Captain Sonny Schindler. And we're just sharing some war stories about fishing. This is the time of year, man. This is the time of year when fishing starts to improve greatly before we get into like the really hot months. And so we're just sharing some stories about that. So I appreciate you joining me. He's unfortunately off the water because we're getting a lot of wind at the moment that we're recording this. And, as he pointed out in the first part of the show, that wind's kind of good because it's pushing some salt water in here that probably will improve the fishing situation pretty dramatically once the wind sort of calms down. Wouldn't you think, Sonny?
It would. I easily could have come up to that place you're at, and we could have done this up there. That place looks amazing. Where is that? So this particular where I'm sitting now is between Greenwood and Blackhawk, and we have about 1,000 acres here, 500 up in the hills, and then 500 in the Delta. And if you go out the back door, can you show that picture, Kyle? If you go out the back door, this is what it looks like. And to the right over there, for the radio audience who can't see the picture we're showing to the Facebook and YouTube audience, there's a 100-acre cypress lake. And then what you're looking at is soybeans that are starting to come up pretty good. And back in the back there is corn. The corn goes down the rest of the way for the rest of the property. But it's a beautiful time to be in the Mississippi Delta. I'll talk more about the Delta. I love it here. I've hunted here and spent time here for more than 30 years. The Delta is a really special place. When you think about things like the Blues Trail and what it brings to Mississippi, what it brings to the state and why it's important. And, from an economic development point of view, we talk about it more as well, because until we really address some of the issues, the poverty, economic development, other issues here in the Mississippi Delta, we're never really going to fix Mississippi overall. But the fact is, it's a great time of year to be here, and we're just up here doing some chores. I have to get up here every couple of weeks to do work. And we've got some hunting land over in Minter City as well, and then we've got some more land over in Chula. And it's just a cool place to be. We love it up here. So I love coastal Mississippi more, but if I had to have a second place to love, it's here for sure. Thanks for asking about it. It looks amazing.
So Sonny, tell me, how has, as you mentioned, because of the salinity levels, you've had some challenges as it relates to triple tail and speckled trout. But we don't want to send the impression that fishing hasn't been incredible. When I look at some of the pictures you're posting of incredible redfish fishing and flounder fishing and the other stuff that you're doing, there's plenty of backup plans. And I wouldn't even call them backup plans. You just have a smorgasbord of opportunity, and you have to pick the one that's playing now. And you've had some real good luck, even the last several weeks, haven't you?
Right. We have, yes. And there's a method to the madness. Like this last trip, Captain Matt and I were on. Look, I mean, it was a 4-day trip. The first half day and all of the second day, man, we just kept plugging away. And look, we didn't know if we were going to have enough to cook for their fish dinner the last night. It was that slow. Well, the third day, first thing in the morning, we tried something new and it worked. And we stuck with it, and we wound up, getting all we could keep on the redfish. But work together. And I always tell people, knowing where not to go is just as important as knowing where to go. So Matt and I we picked it apart as best we could, and he found them under popping cork. It was all redfish. He found them under popping corks, and I found them under Carolina rigs. But it took us two days to figure it out. So it wasn't that we just threw a hook in the water and said we're the big guides and we know everything. We got to work hard too. But once we found them, those fish paid for making us wait that long. We went to work.
But it is. I mean, listen, fish is never automatic. I should take that back. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we get lucky. The conditions are amazing, and no matter where you go, you can't fail. But why it's important to have guys like you guys is that when the going gets tough, that experience really starts to pay off. You got a long checklist of possibilities, not only in terms of bait and approach that you use to catch a fish, but places that you're going to go. And you have to start working your list and checking the list off, and eventually you get there. And the average recreational fisherman, some have that capability, but most don't. And they would go out and fish for a few hours and say, well, fishing's slow today, and that would be kind of the end of it. But you guys, you're paid to sort of work it out.
Well, and I think that's what gives us somewhat of a advantage, because one, we can't throw in the towel. So if people are coming a long ways away, or not even a long way, if they're coming to fish with us and pay money and invest the time to put their faith in us that we're going to produce, we can't just say, oh, let's go in and grab a beer, or let's go up the river and go skiing. No, I mean, we have to stick it out. We have to go in conditions that there's a lot of days where we fish where I probably wouldn't tell my family or friends, hey, come on, we're going to do it. So I think a lot of it, what makes us better fishermen, is fishing on those marginal or bad weather days. And I'm not saying run your boat as far as it'll go and test the limits of safety. I'm not saying that. I'm saying figuring out where you can get and what you can do on those bad weather days. Even if it's fishing, there's stuff we do when it's really bad where we're 200 yards from the boat launch. But it's protected, it's safe, and hopefully fishy. So, the good weather days, we like them, but more often than not, we're fishing in less than favorable conditions. So that gives us a better arsenal.
So let's remind people, Sure Thing Charter, 7 captains, you had this opportunity.
Number 8,
fish
we got number 8 last month.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So from the Pearl River out to the Louisiana Marsh over to Cat Island, you can go along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. That's where the fish are. But give a sense of sort of the geographic area that you guys fish in as on a typical day.
There's nothing typical with that many boats. They'll spread out. Alex likes to stretch his catamaran out. Some days he'll be behind Horn. Now he goes the furthest, but our typical stuff is Lake Bourne, down to the Louisiana Marsh, Half Moon, Bayou Biloxi, over through Deepwater Pass, Martin Island. All that's in the marsh. Cat, we do ship a little bit, and then back around. We'll go over to Gulfport Harbor that's usually our north wind. Alamo, as I like to call it. If they really want to go and we need deeper water, we'll go there. Back down through Long Beach, past Christian, the reefs there, and then the bay with the Wolf River, the Jordan River, and then back around through the nearshore reefs back to Bayou Caddy. So that's a lot of water. But the big thing that helps us is all of our boats work off a trailer. So we don't stay in a harbor or a lift or anything. We move every day. And all of our boats use sport trails. Kevin DeSelle's sport trail. They're made in Waveland. I mean, all these Ferraris and Corvette boats, all the Freemans and Contenders and Regulators, all the fancy schmancy boats all use these sport trails. We pass the dealership almost every day where they make these trailers, and we put hundreds of thousands of miles on these things, and that's what helps us a lot, is being mobile. So, there's days where we've run all the way to the Wrigley's to launch, we've run all the way to Gulfport to launch. So it's nothing collectively to put, tens and tens of thousands of miles on our trailers a year. Getting into that safe, protected water so we can go make a day. A lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights, but, other than a nail in a tire, we don't really have trouble with our trailers at all. We beat those things to shreds. It's pitiful what we do to them, but being able to move around, using the launches and the weather, to keep your people safe and try and get in some calm, fishable water. That helps us a lot. It's not easy. Yes, it would be so much easier just press the button and drop your boat in the water. But a lot of days, that spot may be blown from the wind and waves crashing into your dock, and you don't want to beat up people. A lot of people aren't used to open water, so you want to take care of them.
Well, congratulations on getting an 8th boat. When you have 8 boats out there fishing, the amount of intelligence that you're gathering about what's going on, it's got to be incredible. It's got to be incredible. Hey, we're coming to the end of our time together, but Captain Sonny Schindler, you're a good friend. I really appreciate you joining me. I like just telling fishing stories. And when we come back the next time, we'll talk about some unusual trips that you've taken and the surprises you've gotten along the way, because man, Coast of Mississippi fishing has a lot of surprises that it can hurl at you, and some of the special people you've met along the way. I bet maybe some famous people even. So listen, we look forward to visiting with you again soon. But this has been Captain Sonny Schindler, and when we come back, we'll have a representative from the CB base to talk about a new civil and mechanical engineering program at the base.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking very hard-to-find PPE items to make our community a safer place. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. They were even sending thousands of dollars of PPE supplies free to local schools in need with help from other local business leaders. The next time your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider a local company that supports your ball teams, cheerleaders, and area homeless. Consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply, the local guys that keep your prices fair, your service and selection excellent, and your health our business. Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
SuperTalk.fm has a new look and is more informative than ever, with expanded Mississippi news coverage, the latest Mississippi weather, Mississippi sports, and of course, the talk that's important to you. Every show, every podcast, and every late-breaking story. Constantly updating the news the second new developments happen. All in one place. The new SuperTalk.fm.
106.3 Casino Radio is here. Tune to 106.3 to discover all of our must-see attractions and everything that's happening at our 12 incredible casino resorts. Where to eat, where to stay, what to do, and where to play. 106.3 Casino Radio has you covered with everything you need to know to help make your visit here to the coast one you'll never forget. Turn on 106.3 Casino Radio or listen now on our website, CasinoRadio1063.com.
Hey, South Mississippi, the future has arrived. It's 2021, and at J. Allen Toyota, we're here to serve you. Want to let you know that we have Allen's lifetime warranty on every new Toyota we sell. That also comes with Toyota Care. That's 2 years and 25,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. We have a great rental department. Our service department's ready to take care of your current vehicle. We're rolling out J. Allen certified pre-owned for 2021. You got to come to I-10 exit 38 right here in Gulfport. You're going to love what we have to offer. When you think Toyota, think Allen Toyota.
Feeling down? Here's your prescription for a daily dose of good news and positive vibes. Good Things with Rebecca Turner. Every afternoon, Rebecca highlights all the good things happening right here in the state you call home. Daily exposure to Good Things with Rebecca Turner may cause smiling, feelings of positivity, happiness, and even laughter. When you experience these symptoms, tell your friends to listen.
Okay.
Weekdays starting at 2 p.m. here on SuperTalk Mississippi and now on Amazon Alexa devices.
Hey, I'm Steve Azar, and you never know who or what you'll hear when I spend a Mississippi Minute with my friends. Talking to Paul Thorne, Mississippi true treasure, really incredible recording artist, singer-songwriter, has been doing it a long time, doing it the right way.
It's almost like a Forrest Gump thing because, I was a boxer, / I worked in a furniture factory, / I had a gig 2 nights a week playing my acoustic guitar in a pizza restaurant, / I was in the National Guard, And,
Wow.
all this stuff was going on at the same time. I had a writing contract with Rick Hall in Fame.
In a Mississippi Minute. Be sure to check out In a Mississippi Minute with me, Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and now available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher.
For something new and unique in talk radio, take a listen to The Ben Shapiro Show. Every day, we're driving the debate in America with the fastest moving, hardest hitting, most comprehensive, fact-based commentary on the radio. We don't hold back. We never shy away from telling you the truth. Our show is a meeting place of ideas. We have the most important guests and the biggest thinkers in America.
Weeknights at 9
For something new and unique in talk radio, take a listen to The Ben Shapiro Show
on Super Talk, Mississippi. Whether you're brand new to the DIY craze or a seasoned veteran, the Handyman Show has something for you. Buddy Slowick shares tips and tricks on everything from odd jobs to complete build-outs, from small home repairs to serious construction. So no matter if you're at the master carpenter level or not quite sure how to use a level, the Handyman Show answers your questions with a healthy dose of humor and some great music too. Saturdays, 10 to noon on Super Talk Mississippi and on Super Talk TV. Super Talk Mississippi.
Just seems to me people have so much invested in not telling the truth.
When you want the truth.
Simply because it might hurt some feelings.
And nothing but the truth.
Lose some subscribers.
You want the Gallo Radio Show.
I just think in this audience, you still believe that if you tell the truth, you come out ahead.
The Gallo Radio Show.
And if you tell yourself otherwise, you're lying to yourself.
Mornings on Super Talk Mississippi.
And now, it's Coast Vue with Ricky Matthews. Brought to you by J. Allen Toyota, Gulf Coast Business Supply, and AGJ Systems and Networks on Super Talk 103.1 FM.
Welcome back to Coast Vue. I really enjoyed that conversation with Captain Sonny Schindler. I can see that we're going to really enjoy having him as a regular here in Coast Vue, and we'll have to take him when we can get him because it will take a bad weather event or something like that takes him off the water. But I just enjoy, having these wonderful conversations with him because one of the real gems in coastal Mississippi is the charter boat fishing community and the amazing, amazing fishing that they have access to. Hey, listen, if you're a regular listener to Coast Vue, you have heard conversations that I've had with Captain Whitmire, who just recently retired as the commanding officer for the Naval Construction Battalion Center in Gulfport, the CV base. He joined actually the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. It's actually a nonprofit. It's a private nonprofit organization that's involved in sort of financial and educational programs for both active duty, retired Marine sailors and their families. It seems only fitting, actually, now that I think about it, that part of his responsibility now is sort of enabling educational opportunities because he was really kind of focused on that before he left as a commanding officer. In fact, he had the opportunity to work closely with our guest today, Dr. Darlene Davis, who is the Navy College Program's regional advisor. And they had this vision for creating this incredible program here at the CV base that is both for enlisted men and civilians, which is a very unique and innovative program. We're going to be talking about that here in just a minute. But before we get any further, let me just say, how are you doing, Dr. Darlene Davis?
Hi, good morning. Good morning to your viewers. Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to have you. By the way, she is Dr. Darlene Davis, and she does have tremendous responsibility as a regional advisor for college programs for the Navy. But she said she would be fine with me calling her Darlene. So she's going to call me Ricky, and I'm going to call her Darlene, and we're going to talk about this great vision. But before we get into what is really sort of groundbreaking, innovative program, really the first mechanical and civil engineering opportunity here in coastal Mississippi in partnership with a unique university. We'll come back to the name of that, and Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. We'll come back to that. You're coming to me today actually from Jacksonville, Florida, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's sunny. It's about 85 and the weather's beautiful. So yeah, Jacksonville, Florida.
So tell me about what you do, Darlene.
Well, as the regional advisor, my primary focus is that my job is to make sure that I am the liaison between Navy college higher education programs and installation commanding officers. You know, they have so much other stuff going on that education opportunities come, and presidents of colleges always want to reach out to them to talk about their programs. And so they assign that to a person that they said, okay, we got somebody that handles off-duty education. So you talk to this lady because she's the person that is responsible for making sure that active duty military members are not taken advantage of, because, you know, there are a lot of people out there that will take advantage of first-time college attendees. And so essentially my job is to ensure that everybody is being honest in terms of higher education for active duty military and their dependents.
So are you doing your role as a civilian or an active duty member?
I am a civilian. I am Navy. I did 15 years in the Navy. And so this is really something that's really close to my heart. I think if I had known some of the things that I know now as a regional advisor, I probably would have made some different decisions while I was on active duty in terms of getting all the educational opportunity and benefits that I could. But quite frankly, it was when I was in the Navy, it was mission first. And, you know, we're going to get on this ship and we're going to go out there and we're going to hunt some bad guys, you know.
Well, you know, you say you wish you had taken advantage of those opportunities, but you are a PhD now. You're extraordinarily well educated. Hey, but you know, but I know, I mean, it's hindsight is so smart, isn't it? If we look back and think about things we could have done differently, but look at the role that you're playing today and think the impact that it's having on people, especially when you are able to help develop innovative programs like we have here at CB's. We'll come back again to that in just a second. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in actually Tampa, Florida, and you know, I'm a country girl at heart. You know, orange groves and climbing trees were my focus, and as a kid, and so yeah, I'm a country girl.
15 years in the Navy. I bet you've been all over the place.
I have. It was a really great experience. You know, I'm one of those people that love the Navy, and the Navy loved me back, and so I have no complaints in regards to any of the amazing places that I visited as an active duty member.
You know, I talk a lot about the military here in coastal Mississippi. The relationship they have to the community is absolutely incredible. I want people to have a deeper appreciation for what these various entities do, like the CB base and the Naval Construction Battalion Center, the Keesler Air Force Base, but the footprint for the military branches out from, you know, all the way over to Ingalls, all the way over to Stennis. As it relates to the CBs, they're doing humanitarian work and mission work literally all over the world. I mean, I mentioned recently that I saw that they were building a medical facility in Croatia. So they go through road of Spain, and they could end up in Asia or Middle East or who knows where. Some of those areas we know about, some we don't know about because they're military sensitive areas. But when you think about the CBs, and what they do, they're a construction battalion center, and as young men who come through this program, they have a tendency to want to move towards civil and mechanical engineering. And those who decide they want to do that, the way that it would work before, they had to leave and go away. They didn't have access to those programs here in coastal Mississippi, and Captain Whitmire knew that. And so you guys partnered up, and you had a goal. What was your goal?
The goal was to ensure that those members who wanted to be civil engineering officers could have those opportunities to obtain that degree while they're on active duty without having to separate off active duty and still maintain the continuity, because, of course, enlisted to officer programs are normal throughout the Navy. We have them for every specialty that is in the Navy. And so for us not to have have this this available for CBs was really it became my passion after hearing how passionate Capt Whitmire was about it, and I just felt that it was an opportunity that every active duty member should have to go from officer enlisted, because we certainly don't want to lose great folks to get out and become civil engineers and then have to try and figure out a way to come back in after that, because civil engineers, they could have been snatched up by some outstanding civilian firm, and so we wanted to make sure that all of those folks that wanted to stay in and wanted to have that career path could participate in that without having to get off active duty and not lose anything as a result of it.
Well, you guys had a really unique challenge because you needed a program that could be flexible, that could sort of embody the realistic the realities of an enlisted soldier's, the fact that they could be assigned to who knows where at any given time. You needed a university that could work with you, that had some flexibility as it related to that. And then there was a role for Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College to play in all of this. But your first step was to begin to understand what kind of program do you need? Can non-military people be involved in this program as a way of making sure we can meet the minimum number of people that is required to do the program? And how do we begin to structure an RFP that would be the kind that would encourage universities that offer these types of programs to want to come in here and be our partner? Talk to me about that process.
Well, it was, sitting back talking to Capt Whitmire and hearing what he wanted to do was very labor intensive for me, meaning that I needed to really hear what he wanted to do and then put that into action. And so it began by me just really getting with the CB officers, the officer corps, and finding out the core requirements for that, and then making sure that our partners here in the Gulf Coast could be actively involved in making sure that we still had our finger on the pulse of the community. And so that was equally as important to him. So not only was it important to make sure that the CB community had what it needed in order to keep these great CBs engaged on active duty, but also to engage the Gulf Coast to ensure that these abilities and capabilities would be open to everybody that is in the surrounding areas. And so looking back into what it is that we had to achieve, ensuring that that not only were the Mississippi Gulf Coast folks a part of it, but to make sure that the colleges met the minimum requirements for civil engineering corps.
So when we come back, we'll talk about the RFP process, and then we'll talk about the one college that sort of evolved from that effort, and then the partnership with Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, and where we are today. Where are we today, and what came of all this incredible, innovative work? When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Dr. Darlene Davis. She's actually the Navy College Program Regional Advisor, been working really closely with the leadership here at the CV base to form a mechanical and civil engineering program here in coastal Mississippi.
You can also listen live to SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on your Amazon Alexa devices. Once you've enabled the skill, just say, Alexa, open SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast.
SuperTalk.fm has a new look and is more informative than ever with expanded Mississippi news coverage, the latest Mississippi weather, Mississippi sports, and of course, the talk that's important to you. Every show, every podcast, and every late-breaking story. Constantly updating the news the second new developments happen. All in one place. The new SuperTalk.fm.
Hey, South Mississippi, it's Jay Allen at Jay Allen Toyota, and I got something new for you for 2021. It's the Jay Allen Certified Collection. What that means is we selected our very best inventory with under 75,000 miles, and they're 6 years old or newer. That comes with a multi-point inspection, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and a 3-day buyback guarantee. So come check out the Jay Allen Certified Pre-Owned Collection right here, I-10 exit 38 in Gulfport, or on allentoyota.com.
When COVID started, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply began stocking hard-to-find PPE items. When Amazon and other mega internet companies were out of stock or inflating prices, Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply was providing local schools and businesses vital PPE supplies at fair prices. When your office needs PPE supplies, office furniture, or products to keep your business operating, consider Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. We sell that too. Buy local.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
Just seems to me people have so much invested in not telling the truth.
When you want the truth.
Simply because it might hurt some feelings.
And nothing but the truth.
Lose some subscribers.
You want the Gallo Radio Show.
I just think in this audience, you still believe that if you tell the truth, you come out ahead.
The Gallo Radio Show.
And if you tell yourself otherwise, you're lying to yourself.
Mornings on SuperTalk Mississippi. SuperTalk Mississippi, your new home for the Ben Shapiro Show.
We don't hold back. We never shy away from telling you the truth.
The most electrifying national talk show on air today.
We have the most important guests and the biggest thinkers in America.
Ben Shapiro, brutally breaking down the issues of the day.
From politics to pop culture, we take a look at all of it. So don't miss out.
Weeknights at 9.
For something new and unique in talk radio, take a listen to The Ben Shapiro Show.
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Hey, I'm Steve Azar, and you never know who or what you'll hear when I spend a Mississippi Minute with my friends. We're talking to Del Berra. Take me back to growing up and what it was like in the household with a dad like Yogi Berra.
You know, we grew up with his funny sayings. You know, I remember Dad managing the Mets, and me, Larry, and Timmy are watching the game on TV. And all of a sudden, two streakers run out of the stands on TV, and the camera flips away from them. So when he gets home, me, Larry, and Timmy say, "Hey, Dad, those streakers, what were they, boys or girls? We need to know." And Dad looked us right in the eye and said, "I couldn't tell. They had bags over their heads."
In a Mississippi Minute. Be sure to check out In a Mississippi Minute with me, Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and now available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher.
This is Coast Vue with Ricky Matthews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
Welcome back to Coast Vue from right here in the Mississippi Delta, Coast Vue Studio North, I call it. And I have the pleasure of having Dr. Darlene Davis, who's the Navy College Programs Regional Advisor. She's been working super closely with the CB base here on coastal Mississippi to form a mechanical and civil engineering program. Very, very innovative approach. And as I mentioned off the air, Darlene, when we were talking, is that when I read about the program and learned about Norwich University, a university that was established like in 1819, is the university that sort of evolved from the RFP process. So tell me more about that.
Well, the RFP process is very stringent, and it's, you know, our requirements, especially for the active duty military member, is unique in its approach. And the idea was that we wanted to partner with the local community and also have a program that was capable of traveling with the CBs in the event that they have to transfer to Wainimi or any of the other places that they go around the world. And so, you know, when the application process, there was an application process that happened. And so we put it out there on the Navy College website and said, hey, we're looking for civil engineer programs, civil mechanical engineering programs that will be able to do what it is that we want to do. So we were very specific what we were looking for. And we had several colleges that applied, colleges and universities. And so I was a little shocked because I knew that there were a lot of colleges that offered these programs, but not so many would want to partner with us, especially with the stringent requirements of tuition assistance and being able to transfer across the globe, essentially. And so as a result of that, it was narrowed down. And so a board was, after the application process happened, the timeline was met, Captain Whitmire and the leadership of the CB base, they created a panel, and it was a completely blind panel. Like they didn't know the names of the colleges, but they knew the requirements and what the specifics of those were. And so as a result, Norwich University, who I had no familiarity with at all, or their civil engineering program, emerged as the winner by a blind application process, essentially. And so they had some stiff competition with Mississippi State, but they emerged as the winner with a very strict. I mean, there were some other ones that came close, but those two were very close, neck and neck, in terms of their willingness to partner with the Navy in achieving this goal.
Where is Norwich located?
It's in Connecticut. Yeah, it's in Connecticut, and like as you said, they've been awarding degrees since the 1800s, and they're in Vermont, Northfield, Vermont, and they are really ABET accredited, which was one of the key components in ensuring that we were giving the CB community what they needed in order to remain on active duty. That was something that was very important. But yeah, they've been awarding degrees since the 1800s, and I have the opportunity to meet and speak with their representative, and what they are willing to do and to provide at cost for the military members and the Gulf Coast community is just phenomenal in their terms of what they want to partner with and do within the community and for the Navy community.
So what's really important too is, again, part of this innovation, since you've established this program in partnership with Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College and Norwich University, you have this now available to your enlisted men, but you also have it available to civilians from coastal Mississippi. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Being able to open this up to the local community was also a vision of the leadership at Naval Construction Base. But, having this program available so that civilians, what we term as civilians, have access to the installation and having the ability to earn this degree without really having to leave home, that is important. So the partnership with Mississippi Gulf Coast is essential in that they've come up with a program that once you complete your 2 years at Mississippi Gulf Coast, that those credits transfer automatically into the Norwich 4-year program. So you'll begin your Norwich program as a junior after you complete the Mississippi Gulf Coast program, and you can stay right at home, and that is the beauty of, especially now in this age of uncertainty about education and the cost of education, was the important partnership that was needed so the folks in the Gulf Coast could stay home, stay with mom and dad, and still receive a quality Vermont education.
That's really incredible. So if someone is interested in the program, and we got less than a minute left, where do they need to go to get more information?
They can reach out to the Norwich University representative. His name is Kevin Beal, and his email address is. Are we going to put it up? Will there be a link later?
Yeah, we'll put a link. We'll put a link to it for
sure. Yeah, and so they can reach out to him at Beal, BEALM, as in man, at norwich.edu, and we're going to have a website. We're going to launch a website here in the next couple of weeks, so that all of the information as it relates to rates, to tuition rates, and the courses that we're going to be offering. We're going to kick these courses off in August, so that's really exciting too.
Dr. Darlene Davis, congratulations. What an amazing accomplishment. And it's big news that there's going to be a civil and mechanical engineering program that's innovative, that meets the Navy requirements, and be available to civilians of coastal Mississippi. Congratulations, and good luck to you guys.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Anyway, have a great day.
Follow SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on Facebook, facebook.com/SuperTalk MS Coast 103.1.